Hi there, everyone. This is Cynthia Clark. I am your palmistry and tarot expert and author of Stories in Your Hands, and also the new creator of the Palmistry Tarot deck. So today I'm so excited to unveil my brand new deck, and it has been a long road to create this, I'll tell you that. But I can't wait to take you through all the features and how it works and what makes it special, and hopefully get you excited about it as well, because it is such a useful tool of divination, as well as educating yourself about your hands, educating yourself about crystals and their magical uses. And it's just got so much versatility. I'm really, really excited. And I hope this becomes one of your favorite decks. And if you're new to tarot, that's totally fine. This could become your one and only deck. And if you're not new to tarot, if you've been using tarot for years, it could definitely be an addition to your collection. So I'm going to take you through, and we're just going to look at everything that this deck has to offer. So I am going to share my screen here. And for those of you just listening on the podcast, not to worry, I'm going to describe everything. And so we will take it from there. So the Palmistry Tarot deck is a 78 card deck with a guidebook. And the guidebook, by the way, this is what took me the longest to create. It's 191 pages long, and it is fully illustrated. So if you're new to palmistry, not to worry, there are pictures in the guidebook. And if you're new to tarot, not a problem either. We've got descriptions of everything right here in the guidebook. So the structure of the deck is 78 cards, just like a traditional tarot deck. We have 22 major arcana cards and 56 minor arcana cards. And I divided the minor arcana into 4 suits consisting of the 4 elements: earth, fire, air, and water. And like I said, that 191 page guidebook to assist you at any stage of your usage. So the 22 major arcana cards, each one features a hand shape archetype. And this is what I wrote about in my book, Stories in Your Hands. So if you're interested in learning more about the archetypes, please check out my book, Stories in Your Hands. However, I do describe and show you each of the archetypes in the card deck. And as you can see, the hands are color coded. So we have red for fire, we have blue for water, we have green for earth, and we have gray for air. And then if we have a combination of elements, like the Phoenix card, we've got the red for the fire element and the gray for the air element. So the combination of elements. So as you can see, each card is also has a beautiful color picture. I tried to use modern imagery. I thought that would be a lot of fun, and make it really easy for you to understand what the card is trying to tell you. So that's where the images, the symbolism comes in with the images. It just makes it easier to read. So if you look at the Dreamer card as an example, by the way, this is a picture of me. I did feature myself in the deck. They say as an author, that's something that you should do, which I agree. Makes it more personal. And so if you happen to have a water hand, that would mean you have long fingers and a long palm. So very narrow, long palm would be a water hand. And then if you have a strong Apollo finger, your Apollo finger is going to be longer than your index finger. And you can learn all about how to read the hands in the guidebook. So not to worry if you don't understand this. By the way, if you want to check out your own archetype and you want to go straight to a quiz I created, just go to palmistrytarot.com and take the quiz, and you can find out your archetype. Or you can go to my regular website, ascension17.com. So here's a description of the Dreamer. This archetype combines the emotional and flexible traits of the water hand with the creative and expressive Apollo. Dreamers are naturally intuitive, but also have a hard time following through with their visions without assistance. So this not only teaches you about the card, but it also teaches you about the people who own this particular type of hand. So it has so many multiple uses. Really, really fun. I also featured crystals in each of the cards, and I decided to do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I live in Sedona, Arizona now, and we're the land of the red rocks and the beautiful, just beautiful nature. And we are really connected with crystals here. And we have tons of crystal shops pretty much everywhere. And so if you come to Sedona, it would be, a shame if you left without getting at least one crystal for your collection. Or if you don't have a collection, you can start a collection. So, and I also started my palmistry reading in Salt Lake in a crystal shop. And so I was surrounded by crystals every day, and I had to learn how to work with them because they were just in my space. So what's neat about the deck is that I used an image of an actual crystal from my collection. So these are not just random crystals. And I also meditated with each one of these crystals to give you a message from the crystal of what it's good for. So you can learn a lot about crystals from using this deck. So here's an example of Char White, which is from the Page of Fire card. And it says, "Let my purple flame show you your unique light. All humans are part of the divine, but each expresses this individually. I can assist you in reclaiming that which is your uniqueness, your specialness, your personal expression that wants to leak out. Celebrate your authentic self with me at your side, no longer dependent on others for direction or validation, but recognizing your true value, worth, and purpose." So you can actually get a piece of Char White from your collection. So if you pull that card, the Page of Fire, and you know that, hey, maybe I should meditate with this crystal today, or maybe I should use it in some capacity, or you can even connect energetically. And I teach you all how to do that in the guidebook. So if you don't, excuse me, if you don't actually own a piece of Char White, that is not a problem, because you can still connect to that crystal energetically. And there are a couple of crystals that I used from my collection that are somewhat rare. So you might not have them in your collection, or you might have a hard time finding them. But I tried to use some really common ones as well. So the guidebook has detailed explanation of each hand shape, the archetypes, the channeled crystal messages, and there's also a glossary of terms and card interpretations for both upright and inverted scenarios. So this really is an incredibly detailed deck to guide you through whether you're a beginner or an advanced user. This really can be used for anybody. The guidebook also includes sample spreads, how to activate your cards, and how to formulate good questions. So I used like the Celtic cross spread, which is one of the most common spreads. I put that in the beginning of the guidebook, but I also put in some new ones like the 5-card finger spread, and you can learn about the hands as well when you use this spread. So it's a lot of fun. And moving on to the minor arcana cards. So I used fire for the traditional wands, and each hand is also a fire hand shape. So if you go to the fire suit and you look at all the cards in the fire suit, they will all show fire hands. So this helps you also to learn that you've got short fingers and a rectangular palm is a fire hand. So it helps you to learn more quickly. And I tried to make this as easy as possible. So here's an example of some of the fire cards. And you can see that I featured different parts of the hand. So for the major arcana, we feature the the archetypes. But for the minor arcana, I tried to just line it up with the meaning of the card as closely as possible. So for example, the Four of Fire is all about the zone of ideals. And it's a phalange zone of which there are 12 zones in the hand. So you're going to have 12 cards that feature a phalange. We've got the Three of Fire, which is the Apollo line. So that's a minor line. I also feature major lines like the lifeline, the headline, etc. We've also got the Seven of Fire, the Mars mount. So mounts are the little bulges in the hand. So I feature mounts on the cards, and then also challenges. So this is the 10 of Fire, showing stress lines. And yes, challenges do show up in the hands. But again, I use the crystals to help you overcome the challenges and come to the exalted aspect. So in the case of this card here on the right, which is the 10 of Fire, if you use the red jasper, that can help you relieve some of your stress. So you can learn all about that in this deck. So moving on to the hands. Okay, hand analysis and palmistry is quite complicated, and I realize that, and I've tried to make this as easy as possible for even a beginner to pick up the deck and be able to use it right away. So hands are actually featured two ways. They are featured in a drawing, right, on each of the cards. So like I was showing you, every single upper right-hand corner of each card has a picture of a hand, and it's a diagram. And then in the guidebook, I also used a real handprint from my collection to further show you what it could look like. So here's an example from the Zone of Ideals from the Four of Fire card. This zone is located as the upper phalange of the Jupiter finger. A large zone, vertical or diagonal lines here show an emphasis in living through and contemplating your ideals. So you can see, and you can actually start to understand hand analysis in a very, very gentle, easy way, and a very natural way. So I hope you enjoy that. Of course, we also have what's called the court cards. So the court cards, they are, we've got the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. Now, the court cards can be used for people, or they can be used for situations. And by the way, any of the cards could actually be talking about a male or a female. Typically, the pages will refer to young people. The knights typically are male. The queens are typically female, and the kings are typically older males. But they could also just be that the traits of that person. So it could be, for example, female could get the King of Fire if she happens to be in having the traits that are described in the card. So, so that's one way to use it. Moving on to the minor arcana of the water cards, this is traditionally the cups. Okay, so we look at the hands, they're all going to be water hands. Long fingers, long palm are going to be featured on each card. And these are going to tie in more with the emotional elements. So we've got support lines, which is all about assistance that you may or may not have in your life. The Six of Water, the Luna mount, that is the section of your hand relating to your deep subconscious. The Nine of Water is the angel lines, that's representing your angelic assistance. And the Queen of Water representing the Venus mount, which is giving and pleasure. So this takes you through, again, each of the cards is easy to read just by looking at it. I mean, a puppy, who could resist a puppy? What's more supportive than a puppy? Just as an example. Moving on to the air cards, we have, this is traditionally the swords element. So Ace of Air, Zone of Ideas, this is going to be a lot of thought cards. So the cups is more emotional, the fire is more spiritual, and the swords is mental. So this suit will take you through the various mental experiences, including anguish and sorrow and deception, frustration, like not always positive, right? Because that's how tarot is. We're exploring the range of emotions and thoughts. But again, we look at it in a way to assist. It's tarot is a guidance tool to assist you in your life. So if you pull the Two of Air, for example, you get the Ring of Neptune, which is located at the bottom part of your hand. And if you have this ring on your hand, it shows that there is something that you need to heal, so it can be so incredibly beneficial. And the lines do change in the hand. So if you happen to have a line that you don't like, guess what? You can change it. So isn't that empowering? All right. So moving on to the Earth cards, we have, this is traditionally the Pentacles. And we will experience here a lot more monetary, physical things. So that's why we have a garden. This is going to be more outdoorsy, and a lot of money is going to show up in these cards. So for example, the Four of Earth is the zone of security. It's all about, your attitude towards money and having money. The Seven of Earth, the zone of boundaries. He's got little coins in the background, so that's showing abundance. But is he happy? He doesn't look too happy to me. The Knight of Earth, the zone of strategy. He's planning his way to get through life. And the Queen of Earth, the loop of leadership. I also include sometimes palmer prints. And palmer prints actually form just like fingerprints in the hands. So I did include a few of those in the deck. And we can see here a little bar of gold in the Queen of Earth. And of course, she's very abundant. So I just want you to have so much fun with these cards. I really do. As much fun as I had creating them. So if you're interested, just go to palmistrytarot.com. I did designate an entire website just for the deck. You can order your deck there. Hopefully I will be slowly getting it out to a crystal shop near you. That's going to take some time, of course, but in the meantime, you can definitely go to palmistrytarot.com and you don't have to wait. So I really do appreciate you taking time to look at my deck. And I can't wait to start using this deck with you. By the way, if you're interested in taking this further, I am offering courses online. Just go to ascension17.com. And we're going to be teaching this deck in much more detail. I also have other introductory palmistry and tarot courses, as well as a complete palmistry course on my in my course page. So just check it out if you're interested. I also have membership if you want to learn with me every single week. I've got the Blue Rose membership, which is really, really affordable and so much fun. And you can bring your questions every week and we can look at different things. So as they come up for you. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Cynthia Clark, and I can't wait to get your reaction from the Palmistry Tarot deck. So as you start using it, please share with me how it's working for you, and have a beautiful day.